daughter or your granddaughter. 1 in 3 women report being a victim of physical violence, and almost 1 in 5 report being a victim of sexual violence in their lifetime. In Australia, domestic violence is the leading cause of death and serious injury for women under the age of 45. 1 million children are affected by domestic violence annually. Some groups of women experience violence at higher rates. These include Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women, women from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds, women with disabilities, older women and younger women. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women are 10 times more likely to be murdered and 40 times more likely to experience family violence than non-Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women. On a daily basis, women tell us their stories of abuse from those who have supposedly loved them. Whatever form the violence takes, we hear of the serious and devastating consequences and the impact that it has on their families and communities. Domestic and family violence is the most significant social issue faced by Australians today. And as a community, we can no longer stand for this ongoing human rights issue. Silence amongst our community will continue to enable the unacceptable violence to be perpetrated to these women and children. Community attitudes and messages of no more must be communicated. We all have a responsibility to advocate for social change. We must stand and act now to prevent further deaths, fear and torture experienced by women and children on a daily basis. Today we stand collectively on the steps of Parliament House, asking for strong messages from the government, for criminal justice responses that hold perpetrators to account, and for community attitudes that refuse to tolerate violence against women and children. All women and children have a right to live a life free of violence and abuse, and we will no longer be silent.
It's 1 in 3 women are affected by this. And I stand here before you as one of those 1 in 3. The speaker is Armin Abraham Zaid. Armin is a white women ambassador, and tragically, his mother, Zara Abraham Zaid, was murdered by her husband. Armin continues to be an advocate for the elimination of violence against women and the role of men in this space. Ladies and gentlemen, Armin Abraham Zaid.
I wish I was standing before you under different circumstances and sharing my story with you. And I guess to give you a brief background, my mother was murdered just over 4 years ago by my father, and that's what's made me come out and share my story, hoping to make a difference. Deaths due to domestic violence are both unacceptable and preventable. Yes, we can save another mother, another daughter, another sister, another friend, another human being. Domestic violence is not a gender-based issue, but it is up to us as a society to teach one another and be role models for our future generations. Law enforcement and authorities need to have the right people in the right places with the right approach. to deal with this silent killer. But the authorities can't do this alone. The law needs to work hand in hand with the law enforcers. I'm talking about those responsible for making the laws, amending the laws, and removing the laws. The very same laws that are meant to protect us all from harm. So as you can see, each and every one of us, regardless of our roles within our families, our communities, regardless of our roles within our workplaces, we all play a crucial role in society to eliminate this crime. In conclusion, I would like to leave you with the following. Is it domestic abuse or is it criminal violence? Is it an unbalanced relationship or is the perpetrator abusing their powers? Is it just another argument or is it one person denying another person their human rights?
Today I stand here speaking on behalf of my colleagues from the domestic violence sector, who, on a daily basis, walk alongside women whose only want is a life free of violence and abuse for themselves and their children. These women inspire us by their courage and resilience, and it's because of these women and children we are here to fight for the importance and assistance of our services. Addressing violence against women requires leadership from our government. This includes appropriate investment in frontline services like ours that provide critical responses to women and children experiencing domestic violence. We are pleased that our federal government has recently launched the second national plan to reduce violence against women and their children. This clearly indicates that this issue requires a national response. Equally, the same commitment and investment is required for frontline services to provide specialised responses when women and children are seeking safety and support. However, simultaneously, it is the same government that will be reducing funding to the states which provide those services to women and children. The specialist homelessness sector funding under the National Partnership Agreement against Homelessness Agreement will cease in June 2015. For South Australia, this will result in a 30% reduction in funding to our domestic and family violence and homelessness services. This will have enormous implications for women and children experiencing domestic violence, for young people, homeless families and adults. South Australia underwent significant reform in 2010, resulting in the development of services that aim to work in a coordinated and collaborative way to address violence against women, children and homelessness. As a state, South Australia has led the way in the development of services which effectively meet the needs of women, children, young people, families and adults. The workers from the domestic violence sector urge our federal and state government to continue the current funding under the National Partnerships Against Homelessness Agreement. Failing to do this will ultimately result in services being reduced, escalating the risk of violence to women and children.
I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to ask you to release those balloons up into the air as a mark of respect. So, having the balloons ready and ready to release. 1, 2,